The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Dr. Edward Group. It took me 20 years of searching the globe to find the deposit of the highest purity iodine available. The new Survival Shield X2 is mined from 7,000 to 10,000 feet below the earth in pristine, environmentally clean conditions. The iodine crystals we use are extracted from an ancient 300 million plus year old deposit deep in the earth. It's the strongest nascent iodine on the market today. It delivers 650 micrograms per drop. Experience the new formula. Experience the ancient purity. Shield your family. Survival Shield X2. Available now at InfoWarsLife.com.
X2 from InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. From the water table to our soils to the atmosphere itself, our world is becoming more and more toxic each and every day. But it's not just the air outside that's toxic. Indoor air has been shown to have 2 to 5 times higher concentrations of pollutants than even outdoor air. And most Americans spend 90% of their time inside using toxic chemicals within their homes. There are more than 42 million smokers in the United States. Well over 1,000 types of mold and mildew linked to numerous conditions. And don't forget the fact that 6 million Americans live with pets they're allergic to as well. When I began to research these statistics, it was clear to me it was time to start cleansing my lungs in order to combat the toxic environment that we cannot escape, but that we can fight back against. Made with organic and wild cultivated herbs and manufactured in the USA, the new InfoWars Life Lung Cleanse is here in a convenient spray bottle that can be brought with you throughout any toxic environment. Now available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. Alex Jones here for Infowars.com. In the month of July, we have got giant specials on everything at MadeIn1776.com. The already discounted Made in 1776 t-shirts are only $17.76. We have the new belt buckles that in only 2 weeks of sale are very close to selling out. There's only 500 of each. We're talking about Made in America belt buckles in nickeled brass. This is more than a summer blowout special. This is a new declaration of independence. But to expand the InfoWar, we're offering the equivalent of more than 5 months free right now when you get a membership at PrisonPlanet.tv for a limited time, only $39.95 a year. That's more than 5 months free off the regular price. Not just this July 4th weekend, but the entire month of July at MadeIn1776.com. Molon Labe, you can take my gun from my cold, dead hands.
We now take you live to the Central Texas Command Center in the heart of the resistance, rallying patriots worldwide. You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Welcome back to The Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight, but Alex is going to be joining us in the next hour live in the studio. He's working on a breaking story right now. We've been playing a special report that he shot with Joe Biggs about a new Army training center. Actually, it's not new, but it's newly found out that they're training to fight Black Americans. And again, this is yet another example of what Alex has been talking about since the 1990s. And of course, it was always a conspiracy theory, but now they're putting the videos up. They're shooting the videos and putting them on the internet instead of denying that it's happening. So he's breaking that down for us. Let's go back to that report. But before we do, I want to let you know that Fluoride Shield is now available at a 25% off special offer. InfoWars Life Fluoride Shield is an exclusive blend of key herbs and ingredients specifically infused with the formulas to help support the elimination of toxic forms of fluoride and other dangerous compounds like mercury, chlorine, and bromine from within the body. Right now, you can get it at 25% off. Of course, you can't carry your water filter with you everywhere you go. This is a way to get the fluoride out that you're going to pick up as you're traveling around. A great product that you can find at InfoWarsLife.com. Right now, 25% off. Let's go back to the special report that Alex is breaking down. And this is something we should all be concerned about. You should be concerned that the government is training to fight American citizens. Whether it's not the demographic group that you're in or not, it is still not something we want to see happen, especially when we look at the fact that Obama, by executive order, has just banned all future purchases of AK-47s, saying that he has the powers under a National Emergency Act, and he has been given a kill switch to the entire communications system so that he can immediately address everyone. That's something that's never happened before. Does he need those two things because they're planning a false flag? Because they're planning to fight American citizens? That's something they've been talking about since Rex 84. Remember Oliver North, Ronald Reagan, 1984? That's where the name comes from, Rex 84. Alex Jones continues to break this down for us. Let's continue with that report.
They released FM 3-39.40. And this document says Social Security numbers, how to round up the American people. We have articles on Infowars.com about it where you can see the subsections where more than 20 times it says American citizens, Social Security numbers, how to process, how to get our biometrics, just like we were citizens of Fallujah, Iraq. It goes through all of it. And first they tried to deny it, then they admitted it. We've also seen training in places like Arcadia, Iowa, where they said in the paper they're working with a local gun shop and the citizens do door-to-door gun confiscation drill for training here in America. Once that blew up, they started to back off. We got the governor to respond in Tennessee a few years ago when they had regular Army with National Guard, state police, ATF, the FBI, local police, all putting them under a unified federal FEMA command, running an illegal checkpoint on one of the major highways searching vehicles. So again, this is just changing the culture, bringing all of this in. But I want to play from a promotional video put out by Guardian Centers, some of the video for you right now, and we've been showing some of it as well while I've been talking here, where, again, interspersed with the firefighters and other legitimate things, it shows the military rounding people up, and every one of them is black. Now, that's newsworthy right there. I've been to these drills where they all are farmers wearing John Deere caps and stuff saying, you know, you can't take my land, you can't take my guns. Very scary stuff. But it was a black farmer, white farmer, Hispanic farmer. Little extra black folks. I mean, obviously saying, oh, it's for Al-Qaeda, that's a bad group, but it's really for all Americans. Oh, well, blacks, you know, they're kind of looked down on quietly by some people. Oh, look, it's for blacks, so it's okay. And it's military and white guys, white civilians looking on as groups of blacks tump over cars and, you know, get rounded up and thrown behind barbed wire. I mean, this is pretty outrageous. But don't expect Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton, the race baiters, to say anything. They're just there to create more racial division in this country, not actually point out that there's preparation to target black communities, which are under gun control like Chicago and has the highest crime rate in the world, which are under the fake drug war that's bringing down Chicago, just like Mexico's collapsing. It's the policies that are causing this cultural collapse. But here's some of the promotional video hiding in plain view.
For those of you who are listening, this is video footage. This is a black lady who's getting beaten by some soldiers here. They've got concertina wire that they've set up. And as you can see, if you're looking at the video live on our website, everyone who is
Let me show you just a few more articles.
Who's there is black.
So we'll give you a larger picture as we connect the dots here. And then we're going to go to Staff Sergeant retired Joe Biggs to specifically analyze some of this video that shows regular Army engaging in civilian suppression, basically. No other way to describe it. Look at this headline from today that was picked up by DrudgeReport.com. We're going to show a short clip from the larger newscast here in just a moment. Armed Homeland Security agents in community outreach to let people know they're in the area and to remind them about the snitch program. And we'll go ahead and play a clip of that now.
Homeland Security officers tell 9 on Your Side they were there as part of their community outreach to let people know that they are in the area. They also were there to remind people that if they see something, say something, especially when they see anything suspicious happening outside of a federal building.
Again, it is essential to understand we are seeing an explosion of paramilitary preparation for gun confiscation, martial law, roundup, civil unrest, you name it. Is it the border being collapsed by design? Is that part of it? Clearly. Is it the dollar being deserted worldwide by design? Clearly. Is it war in Ukraine and possible war with Russia? Clearly. The issue is it's George Soros and the globalists on record bragging they're behind the open borders and the open border society, that they're behind the Ukraine takeover, that they're behind ISIS and the Arab Spring. I mean, they are starting what appears to be the beginning of World War III right now. That's where all this leads, and the government is on full drill to lock everything down and come after the American people. So this is really an emergency alert here. And again, a few years ago, we saw these weird internal Homeland Security training videos, and then public ones about see something, say something, where every terrorist was a white business executive. And I said they're rebranding to the Tea Party. Watch. And they've done that now. I mean, you can see it. First internal, saying our new enemy's the Tea Party, white people. Then it goes public. Then it becomes policy. People said, oh, you're just being racist, worried about white people. No. If there's videos where all the terrorists are white people, and then internally they say the enemy's the Tea Party and gun owners, you know what's next. And we were proven right. Well, when it's showing nothing but black people, I've got a big concern as well. I've got a concern if it was showing black, white, Hispanic, Asian. But they're doing it to kind of sell the idea of, well, this is a troublemaking group. The Army's only for them. So the general public will accept it. So they're showing minority communities that we're going to take the rights of whitey. And they're showing, the law enforcement, community that's in some areas, I guess, well, white bastion or whatever. Oh, it's for the blacks. No, folks, it's for everybody. Who was the German preacher that said first they came for the communists and I wasn't a communist, said nothing, and then they came for the labor unions, I wasn't a labor union. Then they came for me, and there was no one else to stand up. This is for everybody. This is about taking your pension funds. It's about taking over. Now, you can look up, again, the Army Times, you name it, admitting that they want to set up Brigade Homeland. That was 6 years ago. They've now done it. They're rolling it out. I mentioned this article, guardsmen to conduct urban training at Arcadia in April. They admitted gun confiscation drill in here, and they got all upset when we said that and reported on it and said that they hadn't said that. We had the colonel on. We've also got FEMA camp prisoners. Again, we mentioned that, using the illegals to prime that pump. We have the governor responding and saying the feds can't do that anymore after Tennessee. So that's the good news, is that you can say no to all this. But for those that are in denial about Posse Comitatus and what the NDAA has changed in the last few years incrementally to where there's nothing left, I wanted to go to, again, Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs, retired, to give us his breakdown, because he served in Iraq and Afghanistan with a lot of the groups that are now coming home to literally go after the American people. As veterans can't get health care and are getting the word they can't buy guns anymore with no evidence or no reason at all. This is now pointed at us, and the military appreciates these transmissions, because on average I can't imagine a group more informed than Army and Marines, Air Force, you name it, because again, they're decompartmentalized. They're in the middle of this. They see what's happening. Joe, before you analyze these patches for folks, I want to get your take overall. You've been sitting here tonight while we're breaking down this investigative report here and analysis for viewers the last 15 minutes. Any thoughts just overall as a citizen and as a veteran, a combat veteran, seeing all this?
Well, one of the things I like that you said is that the veterans overseas are getting ready to come home to this. And it reminded me of the past few days. I have a buddy who's stationed in Japan. I've got another that's in Afghanistan. They can't see a lot of these websites. And they're coming to me and saying, hey, Joe, what's really happening in America right now? What's going on at the border? Why is our police being militarized so much? And I have to tell them, and it breaks their heart every single time. They're like, why is this happening right now? Am I really going to come home to this right now? And they're scared of what's happening to America right now. And I don't blame them.
Because they're not traitors.
Yeah, they're not. They don't want anything to do with this. Most of them go over there, like I said, for a good purpose. A lot of them want the college, the benefits, something like that. None of them want to go and come back and be trained to take over cities here in America. No one has that. No one wants to do that.
Well, and a lot of them do it because of family, like your dad.
Yeah, my father. I mean, it was in my blood to join the military. My father did it, my great-grandfather. And it's just something that we did in our family. If you were male, you joined the military. There's nothing wrong with that. And a lot of these guys are seeing what's happening back here, and it's literally breaking their heart every day to know that our country is slipping away while they're over there fighting for their country.
Well, I want, Joe, the people that are running this to know that they're not doing